Toyota just did something nobody expected. They made the 2027 Highlander fully electric. That's right, no gas, no hybrid, no plug-in hybrid, just straight up EV. On the surface, it looks like a very bold move. The Highlander has been the safe family SUV ever since it first arrived on the market in 2001. So why would they risk that? Well, when you start looking at the sales numbers, it actually starts to make sense. Toyota's own Grand Highlander is outselling the regular Highlander almost 3-1. So instead of competing with themselves, Toyota is kind of repositioning the Highlander into a completely new space, the 3-row EV SUV segment. Right now, that market basically belongs to Kia EV9 and the Hyundai Ioniq 9. But if you listen to the internet, the new Highlander is the worst thing ever. But is it really that bad? Well, let's find out. So what are we actually getting here? Toyota is offering two trims, XLE and Limited, and two battery options. The base XLE comes standard with front-wheel drive and 77 kWh battery. You can option it with all-wheel drive. The Limited, on the other hand, comes standard with all-wheel drive, and you can choose between the same 77 kWh battery or a larger 96 kWh pack. Now, let's talk power. The front-wheel drive models make 221 horsepower and 198 pound-feet of torque from a single electric motor. And honestly, that's a little underwhelming. That's actually less power than the outgoing gas model. And for a 3-row electric SUV that's going to be heavy, that's not exactly exciting. Now, thankfully, the all-wheel drive models are a different story. They add another motor that bumps the numbers to much healthier 338 horses and 323 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot more respectable for something this size and, more importantly, weight. As for range, Toyota claims up to 287 miles for the XLE in front-wheel drive form. Go with all-wheel drive and that drops to 270 miles. If you step up to the larger 96 kWh battery, you're looking at up to 320 miles of range. Charging-wise, it comes with the North American Charging System or NACS port, which means it'll have access to the Tesla's supercharger network right out of the gate. Toyota says it can go from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes on a DC fast charger. And like a lot of modern EVs these days, it can also act as a backup power source for your home in case of an outage. Now let's talk about how it actually looks. Like most new generations, the Highlander got bigger. It's about 2.3 inches wider and nearly 4 inches longer than before. Visually, it's a lot more chiseled. There are sharper lines, more defined edges. It definitely looks modern and more EV inspired. Up front, there is a full-width light bar that acts as daytime running light. The actual headlights are tucked lower into these dark triangular housings in the bumper, which gives it a slightly more aggressive look. Around back, you've got another full-width light bar that wraps around into the rear quarter panels. It honestly reminds me a bit of some Cadillac's recent EV designs. From straight behind though, the proportions are interesting. The rear fenders flare out pretty wide, so the hips are noticeably broader than the cabin, which gives it a planted stance, but also makes it look a bit chunky depending on the angle. Inside, the first thing that you notice is the massive 14-inch touchscreen. It definitely looks modern, but it does have that iPad glued to the dash kind of vibe. Thankfully, Toyota kept physical controls for the most important stuff: climate, volume, drive modes, etc. Although heated and ventilated seat controls and the heated steering wheel are now in the infotainment. Not ideal. Behind the wheel, there is a standard 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster on both trims, and if you go limited, you also get a heads-up display. Safety-wise, both trims come standard with Toyota Safety Sense 4.0, so adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, pre-collision braking, the whole shebang. You can also spec it with Toyota's largest panoramic roof and an 11-speaker JBL audio system. Under the screen, you get two warming plates for your phone, also known as wireless chargers, plus USB-C ports up front and in the rear, so nobody should be fighting over the cables. Seating-wise, it's either 6 passengers with second-row captain's chairs or 7 with a bench. The seats are wrapped in Softex, Toyota's synthetic leather. Heated front seats and heated steering wheel are standard on the XLE, and the Limited adds ventilated fronts and heated second-row seats. And because this is still a family SUV, Toyota somehow managed to fit 18 cup holders in there for all your soy latte needs. The rear seats fold flat and reveal 45 cubic feet of storage. So when can you buy one and how much will it cost? Toyota says sales should begin in late 2026 or early 2027. The official pricing hasn't been announced yet, but I'd be surprised if the base XLE starts under $55,000. But since it's being built in Kentucky, that likely means that it qualifies for the full $7,500 federal EV tax credit. Now, is this actually a bad move? Honestly, I do not think so. If anything, this feels like a strong recovery after the BZ4X launch. That name just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? The new Highlander looks modern, it's loaded with tech, and with the larger battery and dual motors, it's actually competitive in this segment. And strategically, this makes sense. The Grand Highlander was already cannibalizing the regular Highlander, so instead of fighting itself, Toyota decided to split the lineup. So if you want gas or hybrid, you go Grand Highlander. If you want a 3-row EV, now you have this. And I think this move might actually pay off for Toyota in the long run. But what do you think? Did Toyota make a huge mistake, or is this the right move? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.